So how are they going to be held to account? I mean, look, let's face it. As we speak, they're stealing more intellectual property right now. They did a deal. They shook everybody's hand in Washington when they went to do that phase 1 deal January 15th. I have no expectation that China is going to buy this $250 billion worth of stuff that they promised the administration that they would buy. And in the same time, right now, they're trying to race the United States to come up with a vaccine for COVID-19 because I guess they think the country that comes up with the first vaccine for COVID-19 will have economic superiority. I spoke with Texas Senator Ted Cruz on Sunday Morning Futures yesterday. He's stressed the importance of protecting against Chinese espionage from telecom to cancer research because they are stealing science right now at MD Anderson Cancer Institute. Watch this. We talked about the theft that is so prevalent coming out of China, the theft of intellectual property. You said right now, as we speak, the Chinese Communist Party has directed students, if you will, researchers, if you will, at MD Anderson, one of the leading cancer institutions in America, in the world, and they're stealing from us right now in regard to cancer research. Tell me about that.
No, that's exactly right. What we're seeing from China, look, there's always been theft, and there's been piracy and industrial espionage. What we've never seen in the history of the world is a nation state with trillions of dollars of resources like China, who uses the theft of intellectual property as a strategy, who invests billions of dollars into it.
So, Mr. AG, if you're elected to the Senate once again, are you going to spearhead some similar efforts? Are you going to spearhead efforts to hold them to account? Tell me how you do that real quick, because I want to get to Michael Flynn.
Maria, great. This is exactly what we need to do. We need to reset, and I've been saying this for weeks and laying out a plan to reset our relationship with China. As Attorney General, I announced publicly a China initiative. We found that almost no cases were being brought against Chinese entities for intellectual theft and those kind of things. So we have went from 0 to 50 cases ongoing right now, with 1,000 investigations in every corner of this country being conducted right now of Chinese improprieties and illegalities. That's the way we got to fight back in a host of ways. I call my plan betting on America, because we can win if we stand up and fight and take off the rose-colored glasses we've been wearing when it comes to China.
Well, people want to trust America, but first they have to see some accountability after what we saw during the 2016 election. Remember when I spoke with you when you were the AG under President Trump, and you said that you were investigating a whole lot of leaks at the FBI. Now we know what happened with Michael Flynn. They totally set him up. I spoke with South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham on Sunday Morning Futures yesterday, and I asked him if he was going to interview anybody. He's got subpoena power. The FBI officials and how they talked with National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, and they basically set him up, hoping he would lie to the Bureau. Watch this. Will you call Peter Strzok to your committee to interview him as a witness, Senator?
Yeah, when the case is over, I'm not going to do anything to interfere in an ongoing criminal case. That'd be unethical. That'd be wrong. But when this case is over, I'm going to ask questions like, why did the field office recommend dropping the case, and Peter Strzok and the 7th floor insisted that it go forward?
Do you think he'll be exonerated then?
I think the judge should, in light of this new evidence, dismiss the guilty plea and eventually dismiss the case.
What do you think, Jeff? What should be done here with the bad actors who wanted to take down President Trump in a coup?
Well, Lindsay's correct. We've got to have an investigation. The world needs to know how this happened. I'm very, very supportive of Attorney General Barr, who's made clear that he is going to find out how this got started, whether there was a sufficient predicate or basis to even commence this investigation. Now we see how the Flynn matter was handled is stunningly improper, should never have happened that way. It became from the very top of the FBI, Comey himself, the notes about how they would do the interviews, whether they wanted the truth or whether they wanted to catch him in a lie. That was a notes of the meeting with Comey himself. He infected this investigation, and he went after Flynn improperly, in my view.
Well, it certainly looks that way. We're waiting on John Durham and his investigation. Jeff, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks so much. We'll be watching the developments.
Thank you.